Hello and welcome to another video on my channel. For you guys who don't know me, my name is Vaka, I'm 24 years old, I'm the youngest car rental owner here in Dubai in the Middle East. I have a fleet of over 15 cars with close to $5 million. In this video, I want to discuss with you guys on how to and what cars to buy when opening up your own car rental business. When starting off with your car rental business, you need to decide on what cars you want to buy, and then you need to also know on what you need to look out for when buying these cars. First, we're going to start off on what you need to look out for when choosing and when buying your cars. First point would be to see if the car you are buying is in demand. If the car is not in demand in your area where you're going to be opening up your luxury car rental company, then it might be not make any sense and you will just lose out on money. What do I mean by it? For example, let's say you want to buy a Rolls-Royce Cullinan. Let's make it even crazier. Rolls-Royce Cullinan Mansory Edition. So a car which is worth around $750,000. If you're gonna be starting renting out this car in a small town, maybe in the UK, maybe even in the US, in Germany, it doesn't matter, in France, in a small city, you're gonna just lose money because you're not gonna have these clients who travel to these places and want to spend the money. In Dubai, in LA, in Miami, a lot of companies have these cars and are making very, very good money because the demand is there. They have customers who are willing to spend such amount of money on a car for maybe a week, maybe even for a month, or just for 24 hours. So whenever choosing, you need to make sure, do your market research in your area and see, okay, these cars are in demand and these cars I can rent out. Second point is the purchase price. Well, it's pretty simple obviously. When buying a car, the lower or the cheaper you buy it, the sooner you will get your return on investment back. So whenever choosing to buy a car, don't just go for the first car you see. Always wait because the market update, maybe see in winter time, you can buy obviously like convertibles much cheaper. Maybe in summertime, you can buy SUVs a bit cheaper. That's generally how it works. For example, in Dubai, in summertime, the prices drop. I start to purchase cars. So you can do the same. When you know there's a low season, then you can start purchasing cars. Also have a look on cars which are not maybe from your country, which you will have to ship over. Of course, for this you need cash money and you cannot finance cars which are shipped from overseas because you need to buy them upfront cash. But you can save a lot of money. What we have done previously before, we bought a G-Wagon from Germany for nearly $30,000 cheaper than would be here in Dubai. Also this summer I'm purchasing a bit of a cheaper car, a BMW 430i Cabrio, and in this car I'm saving on a $70,000 car roughly $20,000 which is insane because I'm buying this car straight from the factory in Germany and then shipping it to Dubai, because in Dubai you cannot buy this car that easily and the demand is actually not so much there to buy, but for rent it works very well. So I'm doing this as well and I'm saving around $20,000 on a $70,000 car, meaning my return on investment will be much quicker. Third point, and a very important point which can save you tons of headache, is checking the car before buying it. So what do I mean by it? Whenever you're buying a car, you may not know, has it been in an accident before? What kind of problems does it have? So you need to make sure when buying, either you check the VIN number, the VIN code, which is provided when buying the car, and you can push it through some apps and some websites where you can check the VIN code if it has been in a previous accident before. Maybe it has been repainted, maybe something else has been done. This might not be shown in the VIN code. So what you need to do is see when you visit the car, when you have it there, you need to check the car. What you can do is ask the client who you're buying the car from, the guy who you're buying the client from, to bring it maybe to your local garage, and then you bring it up and you have your local mechanic have a look on it. Do check on the transmission, see if anything has been repainted, any minor things which will or can turn into big problems later on. And it's always you who will be having the headache because you'll be losing out on money. Every day your car needs to go to the service and will be in the garage. You are losing on potential money and clients. So checking and making sure the car you're buying is in a good condition is very important. So I would always suggest to not buy very old cars, maybe like 20,000 kilometers on the dash maximum. Make sure the car you're buying is still in a good condition and you will not have problems in the long term, because as I said, you will be losing out on money and business every time the car is in the garage because the car you bought is just not in a great condition. Of course, buying a car is a huge topic and I think I will make a separate video on how I choose and pick my cars which I'm buying. So I will do on this probably a separate video, and this is just a quick walkthrough on what I look for. But soon I will make a whole separate video on how I choose my cars. Okay guys, let's get to the fun part, and it's what cars to buy for your luxury car rental company. Of course, as I said before, it depends on each country you're in, but these cars are always a good pick whenever starting starting a car rental company because these cars are popular all over the world and get rented out from anyone. Let's start with car number 1, my personal favorite one, the G63. What an amazing car. I love this car so much. It has looks, power, comfort, luxury, it's all in one, and people love this car also. It's a very popular pick, and we rent this car out nearly 200 days a year. So it's a great return on investment. We make our money back in around 2 years. So for you, even if you're in the US, in Dubai, in Germany, France, it doesn't matter where, you can be buying a G63. You know, you can look out for like Japanese spec cars, American spec cars. They are mostly a bit cheaper. You can get them shipped to you, and then your return on investment will be, of course, quicker. So G63 is a perfect choice, and I would recommend for anyone to have it in the fleet because people will be asking for this car, and you rather have it in your own fleet than, you know, maybe subleasing or brokering this car, as you will be then earning more money in the long run. Number 2, any car rental company needs a Lamborghini Urus. It's such a popular car because think about it. People want to drive a Lambo when they go on a holiday meal, they want to flex, maybe they're in a group of 4 or 5 people, and then they can just all chip into this car, drive a Lambo, and it's only like $200 to $300 per person, and it's good. You know, when maybe taking a Hurricane, a Ferrari, it's only 2 people realistically who can always drive. Maybe it's a group of boys, you know, on a birthday, all chipping in and just having a good night. So Lamborghini Urus, a perfect car. You can get it very cheap. Well, cheap, obviously it's not a cheap car, but from the US you can get it pretty cheap. I would look out for the US market because you can get them there much cheaper than, for example, from Germany. This car is also very reliable and it's not so expensive in service because, for example, on a G63 you have to change the brake disc quite often. On a Lamborghini Urus they're made out of ceramic and you don't have to change them that frequently. Actually, the service on a G63 for us last year was much cheaper than for the Lamborghini Urus. So definitely get a Lamborghini Urus in your fleet if the budget is there. Number 3, let's go for another Lamborghini, and no other than the Hurricane Evo Spider. What an amazing car. We have one in a purple color and it's absolutely stunning and people love it. So whenever buying a car, make sure the spec you are buying is also unique. We have it in a purple color and people prefer it much more than maybe in a boring white color or in a yellow color. It's a stock color. You can obviously also wrap your cars, but it's always nicer to have them in the stock color because wrap gets, you know, worn out after a few years and you have to redone it. Whenever someone scratches the car, you will have to get it then re-wrapped, and it's just a process which is a bit annoying. So better have it in an original color and, you know, choose the specs wisely. You know, maybe have like a nice combination of outdoor and interior. When driving maybe a convertible, it looks very cool because people look out for these things. You know, if I would go on a holiday and would choose between renting out a white G63 or maybe a black matte or gray matte one, I would always go for the gray matte one, even if I would have to pay $100 more, because, you know, I want to feel comfortable. I want to, you know, like the car I'm driving. So Hurricane Evo Spider, also a great car. It's very, very reliable. Only the electronics have problems, but the engine is an Audi R8, a German engine, so very reliable. You know, people can smash these cars every day. It can be out for 200 days a year, no worries, and you will have not much problems with this car, 100% guaranteed. Only the electronics make a few problems, like the tire pressure or the, you know, the convertible roof doesn't open sometimes on the issue, but you know, you gotta take some losses on these cars as well. Number 4 is a Cadillac Escalade, also a great car for your fleet because these cars are get rented out on a regular basis for many days a week, maybe even for months. You know, when our family comes, they just take them. You can use them also for transfers when people are coming, you know, from the airport. You want to bring them to the hotel, you can use this car also. You know, it's not too expensive, so it's very likely that you will be renting out this car for many days. You know, when people are coming 2 weeks at a time, happened to me many before. Also, big companies tend to take these cars for their employees, maybe on a monthly retainer. We gave away our Cadillac Escalade for $10,000 for 7 months, so $10,000 a month, and we gave it them for 7 months, which was absolutely insane. We made a return on investment on this car in just nearly 1 year, so very good car. People like it, and you don't have too much problems with these cars because these are the cars which people don't tend to race or, you know, do stupid stuff with. So it's very good, and your tires are not getting worn out because they're doing launch controls, donuts. So these cars are also a very good addition to your fleet, like an Escalade, GMC Yukon, Tahoe. I chose now the Escalade, but they're all in the same range also. Car number 5 is another convertible. Convertibles are just a very popular car when people rent cars, so I'm going for another Mustang. Amazing car, you know. Okay, they're not maybe so reliable always, but they get rented out so often because the price on these to purchase is not so high, and you can rent them out pretty high actually for the purchase price you're getting. People take these also for a few weeks, maybe for a few days, you know, just enjoying themselves on a holiday or for a weekend. You want to get away, do something with their girlfriend, maybe driving to another city. And Mustang is always a great choice. The insurance is also here not so high on them, and just the price really attractive for, you know, people coming. It got the looks, it's got the power, it's a convertible, you've got everything you need really, and not for such a high price. Because if you compare this maybe to an M4 competition is, you know, pretty much more expensive, you know, like 20-30k more expensive, and it's pretty much, you know, like the horsepower is a bit more in M4 competition, but it's basically the same car. One is a German one is an American spec one. So a Mustang is always a great option, which I would recommend for anyone also to buy, because you can even buy one or two of them and they're not so expensive to buy, you know, like maybe a Hurricane Evo Spider. It depends all on your budget, if you've got a budget or investor. So guys, these are 5 cars I would recommend for you to buy when starting off your car rental business. Obviously, if you've got a smaller budget, you need to maybe look out for a few other cars. I might do a separate video on maybe a bit cheaper cars and another video on just high-end luxury cars, because we've obviously missed cars like a Rolls-Royce Cullinan, Rolls-Royce Dawn, but they're very expensive. These are 5 cars which are very popular and not too crazy expensive. So guys, let me know, how did you enjoy this video? Did you learn something or not? Also, let me know down in the comments what kind of videos you want to see from me. Is there any topic you want me to cover? Make sure you check out all my socials, they're linked down below. Like, comment, subscribe, hit the bell so you don't miss another video. Thanks for listening and see you guys.